So I was editing the video and I seen like I kind of just jumped in, right? And pause or play. It's 2026. A lot of you guys won't know who she is because she is British. This is a British journalist. Her name is Nana Aku. She was born in 1971 in Newcastle, which is a place in the UK. She's a Geordie, and she's been up ever since. Man, she hit like every metric of being a white husband, every metric she hit that shit, man. And she comes online pandering to a bunch of Caucasians, and yeah, yeah.
I've just found out I've got white privilege. It's such a burden. I did the test from Westminster or Wokeminster Council. I think what swung it was I shop at M&S and Waitrose, and I'm not sure that it expects minority groups to shop there. And it asked me whether I saw members of my race, ethnic group, gender or sexual orientation negatively portrayed on TV. And obviously, as I have my own show on TV and there are so many mixed race people in the adverts, I said no. I think I must have selected the wrong thing for that one as well. To be honest, I'm struggling to cope with my privilege. It's burdensome. Look, I'm all for being colourblind, which to me means that I will treat everyone equally, irrespective of the colour of their skin, and will not make judgments based upon it. But if I were, say, casting a play and looking for someone to play the role of Martin Luther King, I wouldn't be looking for a white guy.
Isn't that interesting? How could you be colourblind and also acknowledge that being colourblind makes absolutely no sense? It almost sounds like picking and choosing, doesn't it?
Thinking about this earlier after reading a piece on Danny Sapani, a black actor who is about to play King Lear at the Almeida. You may remember him from Killing Eve, not something I watched, but he's a talented heavyweight British actor. He was asked whether it was okay for a black actor to play Churchill.
And of course, Winston Churchill, one of your idols, this just offended you so badly. No, we must uphold the legacy of Winston Churchill, one of the biggest demons to ever exist on this planet. How dare a black man? How dare he?
Now, Winston Churchill, of course, was an inspirational statesman who led Britain to victory in the Second World War and twice served as the Conservative Prime Minister, the first time in...
Yo, what? Hey, yo, a black person calling Winston Churchill inspirational is different. Like, that's genuinely different. Winston Churchill was literally a white supremacist. Believed that the Anglo-Saxon was superior.
1940, and then from 1951 to 1955. He was a rotund white guy. So in my view, the very least requirement of anyone playing him would be that, a rotund white guy. This is not a race issue, but one of accuracy. I cannot envisage a situation where it would be seen as acceptable by most black people if Nelson Mandela, Malcolm X, Barack Obama were played by white guys.
So does race matter or not? I think every black person, okay, you're black. Most black people would agree that race matters, and we're not colorblind. What about you? What about you?
Know who else just needs to go under this? Nana Akua.
Oh, Lord. That bitch with the lopsided wig.
Clocked.
With your lopsided, dry ass, needing Dr. Miracle ass wig. Don't talk about what it is to be a black person, because you were just giving, I hate myself and the skin that I'm in.
Yeah.
I saw that this afternoon. That rattled me.
That rattled me.
What does she do now? Because I missed it.
So she has the audacity.
So this black woman has been doing this for years. She's been cooning it up forever and ever and ever. But she met, it's like Myron Gaines when he runs into a real white supremacist and they're like, you're still black, right? N-word, 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 right? When he gets into the white supremacist group chat, he's like, but you're still black though. Yeah, she had her wake up call.
After years of pandering to the far right, she got her wake-up call.
And we don't have time to give it the detail that it deserves. Okay? So if you could just stay on this point.
Can I just stop you there? I know exactly how much time we've got.
Yeah?
And there's no breaks in this out. We've got time.
Right, okay, well, listen, if you want to go down this route, then I'm happy to do so. Because it is
just a question.
But it is an important issue about what it means to be British.
What does it mean to be
English.
British then? Okay.
Well, I mean, we have made it very clear, Restore Britain have made it very clear that our position is that Britishness is not just defined by having a British passport. It is not just defined.
So you have, let me just get this right. You have Reform, you've got the Conservatives, Reform, and Restore Britain. Right? I'm pretty sure. Conservatives are right, Reform is a little bit further right, and then Restore Britain is like super far right. So these are either Conservatives or Reform, but he's Restore. Restore Britain to what it once was. Whites only. These people probably look at like the regular right wing as like, you're basically liberal, right? So even though they're all on the right, he's sitting here, he said, yeah, I mean, I didn't really want to get into this, but we can. What does it mean to be British? Caucasian. Caucasian, yeah, your passport is kind of irrelevant. But you spend your whole career defending white people. In my worldview, you would still need to get the fuck out of this country because you're not one of us.
By believing in a set of abstract corporate-style values like democracy and the rule of law.
What is it defined?
Well, let me finish. So the position
defined by not what it is.
The position of every mainstream party, from Reform UK right the way through to the Greens, is that Britishness is defined by having a passport or believing in democracy. Right? In our view, that is an absolutely ridiculous definition because Britain and the constituent nations that make this country up, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, are ancient peoples. These are ancient nations that have existed continuously for over 1,000 years. Yeah. And so there is a difference.
So there is a difference. So am I British?
There is a difference between somebody.
Am I British?
No, I'm
born in Newcastle. I'm a Geordie. Am I British?
Well, look, you're born in Britain, and all the rest of it. So in that sense, yes, you are British.
So which bit of me isn't then?
Well, there is obviously a spectrum because there is a difference between somebody who has come here in the last 5 years and got themselves a passport and somebody like me whose family has been in this country literally for thousands of years. Okay, there is a difference. And this is an important difference.
Have you heard of Cheddar Man?
Yes.
Cheddar Man, turns out that he may well have been black and was here.
Oh, I think that's
No. So it hasn't been fully. And apparently he was the first person in this country and he was potentially black. In fact, if it is true that mankind came from Africa, then you come from Africa.
Well, I'm a Christian, so I think we all share a common ancestor.
Well, you might believe that, but science says otherwise, that mankind came from Africa. If you're going, how far back are you going? I'm going back to the beginning.
For what?
Well, mankind.
For mankind?
Well, if they're saying the creation of mankind and mankind came from Africa, then you're from Africa. Your heritage all the way further back.
Well, if the out of Africa theory is correct, then yes, but that doesn't that doesn't make me African now.
Well, it means that there's a piece of you that is, which means you're not British.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying.
I find things like this sensational, honestly. You spend your entire career defending white people, putting black people down, to only meet a white person who tells you how they really, really feel. And now you're using like leftist talking points. Oh, we're all from Africa. Really? In reality, it doesn't matter how much you defend them. It doesn't matter how much they love you in the comments. If they got their way, you'd be back in Africa. Nigeria, Ghana, wherever you're from, you'd be right back there. Now, do I think criticizing the black community, for example, is a bad thing? Obviously not.
There's nothing wrong with criticizing the black community, especially if you can provide like solutions to those problems. But as a black person, when you start basing your entire like niche of content around just degrading black people and talking about our problems and how we're bad and all of this, it screams pick me. I talk about this all the time, but being a black person and being anti-black is a money glitch because, a lot of white people feel this way, but they don't want to say it. So when they see you say it, they can use you as an example. Like, see, I'm not racist, a black person said it. And then it's like, bro, just even as a man, why are you like so against your own kind, bro? Like, that shit is weird.
But like he mentioned, if you really care, you're going to do it in a way that we know you care. You're going to do it in a way where you build a black audience rather than a white one.
The British Empire is the darkest shit ever. The Commonwealth, that's the darkest shit ever. British Empire, Commonwealth. That's literally England going to countries and destroying communities.
So Stormzy, you're from Ghana, right? So this is the destroyed state that Britain left Ghana in. Streets are clean, nice houses and cars everywhere. Just look at that, so destroyed. Oh my God. This is Lagos, right after the British Empire left. Look at the destroyed churches and the destroyed skyscrapers. Like, how dare they build skyscrapers and churches for people to pray in? Look how they destroyed the streets. No heavy traffic, no 1 hour queues of traffic. They destroyed the streets so much that people were comfortable enough to walk barefoot. How dare they clean the streets? Look at how they destroyed Delhi, India. Look at how dare they build these trains and these buildings that still exist today, by the way.
Opening our face, it was better. Really? Our gutters were clean as what word you like? Everything true. The gutters were clean. You can't find even.
Now, with making this video, am I saying that bad things didn't come out of the British Empire? Of course, bad things came. We know there was a lot of atrocities.
Would you rather have 165 million people dead, but your roads are clean, or have dirtier roads with 165 million people not dead? You guys let me know in the comments. Because you know bad things happen, but you've cooned it up so much that you're showing it like it's just... Arguably, no. The biggest genocide ever in the history of mankind happened in India. 165 million people dead in 40 years. Those numbers, genuinely, where did they put the bodies? Are you telling me that the transatlantic slave trade, it was kind of worth it because the streets in Ghana were clean? The streets in Ghana and in Lagos, they were clean. So the transatlantic slave trade, we should just kind of get over it, right? Wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. The British Empire, they did some bad things, but they left the streets in Ghana clean. And in Lagos, the streets were clean. To all the Indians out there, they stole 11 trillion pounds worth of money, but the streets were clean though. So what are you really complaining about? They set you back 200-300 years, but they left clean streets with some nice buildings. You see, there's nothing wrong with showing all sides of the coin, right? All sides of the equations. But what racists and coons will do is they'll paint it like the good outweighed the bad when it just didn't. Right? You will see low self-respecting black people do this thing where it's like, oh no, but black people are also racist. And it's like, yeah, but it's just not the same. These things don't weigh the same. You know, Ghana is a unique case, right? Ghana, genuinely, probably the best African country. Terrible country. For what it should be, it's just terrible. A lot of Ghanaians will say that it was better back in the days because it hasn't improved. Like they've done nothing. That's incompetence from the government, which is spread across pretty much every black country. But the idea that you post a couple of videos of clean streets to make your racist white audience feel better about the absolute monstrosities that were taking place, you're a disgrace. I mean, the British Empire got the Chinese addicted to opioids. Fucked up their whole shit. I guess they should be happy because do they have cleaner streets as well? Set them back generations, but I just don't get it, man. These low racial self-esteem black people who end up doing this right-wing stuff, it's never just political opinions. It never just stops there. It's the glorification of whiteness and the denigration of blackness.
Yeah, see, this is not what we're gonna do. Turn the roles around, rotate it 265 degrees. if a black man, if I came out and said black women are girls, white women are women, I will just get slapped.
It's no surprise they all have white husbands and white wives. That's not a coincidence. It doesn't exist. To the first lady, white husband, right? Oh, black men are boys and white men are the real men. Like, it's not a cool. So again, let's break this shit down, because it's very interesting with these people. Their thought process stops at a certain point, right? But we'll get into that. So 0.01% of black Americans are violent criminals. 0.01%. 13% of the population, 0.01% of black Americans are actually violent criminals. Every single community is more likely to be harmed by the people in their community. Does that mean there aren't problems in terms of violence? No. But let's break this shit down. Overwhelming majority of the problems within the black community can be directly tied to poverty. And they are directly tied to poverty. Poverty breeds bad habits. It breeds negativity. It breeds violence, right? Why are black people poor? Specifically in America. Because they've always been poor. They were freed from slavery with nothing. Ooh, what's happening here? They're starting to steal. Let's put it in the Constitution that we can enslave these people in prison, because a lot of them are stealing. So we can continue slavery by enslaving them within the prison system. That happened, right? Fast forward. These black people are starting to build. They're starting to, no, let's drop a bomb. First ever bomb dropped on American soil on a black community. Every time they got a little bit ahead, destroy the black community, destroy the black community. They kept, but they're so persistent. What do we do? Feminism. Let's tell these women that they don't need men. Let's tell them they don't need men, they can do it all by themselves. Okay, but what else? War on drugs. Let's flood their community with crack cocaine. Now we're here. They disregard everything. And they just focus on the now. They focus on where we are now. And these men are violent now. And we need to fix it. How did we get here? How did we reach the point where, okay, 13% of the population is committing all this violence? There's mass poverty. Fatherless rate is the way it is. Are black people just like inherently deviant? There was a time where most black people were very Christian. Like I always say, they adopted the ways of the white man. They were moving up in the world too fast. They were moving up in the world too fast. They had to find a way to destroy the black community. And they did. Now, does that mean in 2026 that there's no personal accountability and we just do nothing? Because what can we do? No. We should be trying. But to never acknowledge that, to me, that's where like these people are genuinely like just so disgusting. I can't stand them, man. Honestly.
This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone. Blowing weed, smoking the ozone. I just can't let